A trip to the dog park can be a fun experience for your dog, but it can also be a negative one. Here to talk about the pros and cons of the dog park is Elena Miller, owner of Dogs Unleashed Canine Training. Elena, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start with the positive aspect. What are some benefits of the dog park experience for your dog?
Socialization with other dogs, and obviously getting energy out, being able to run around free because it's usually fenced in, and meeting other dog people that would be a person dog, a benefit for the person, and it's always just fun to go to the dog park if it's a good one.
On the flip side then, in what ways could the dog park be a negative experience for your dog?
If the dogs are not always getting along, too much excitement and stimulation. A lot of times, not every dog park, but a lot of times the dogs aren't trained. People aren't paying attention to their dogs.
Right.
You don't always know if they always have their vaccines. That's the thing. If it's a big dog park and that's not regulated, there's just no structure. So you want to make sure that, it's okay to go to a dog park if you know the same people. But if it's just on a weekend, especially sometimes, I know at the dog park near me, there's going to be like 30 dogs that have never met. And,
Right.
It just takes one bad experience to scare a dog.
And it does seem like it would be pretty hard to properly introduce all 30 dogs to each other.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, usually there is no proper introduction. Usually someone comes in and the dogs all run to the gate, and it's just like a whole mess. And usually the dogs that are already in there are super stimulated, so it causes, too much excitement. And like I said, a lot of times people don't have control of their dogs, so it just can lead to a negative experience for the newcomer.
But like we said, dog parks can also be great, and especially when you have a close group of people who maybe you go together and you're all familiar with each other. If someone is going to go, what should they bring or not bring with them to kind of be prepared for the situation?
I usually say to not bring food, just because some dogs can have food possessiveness or something like that, so you just don't want to bring that. You don't really have to bring toys either. You can, depending on, like I said, if you know the dogs and you know the people and you know everyone's responsible and actually paying attention to their dogs, then that's great if they can play nicely. But if it's just a one-time thing or a couple times here and there.
Could you bring, your dog's favorite tennis ball if you wanted to?
You could, yeah. And it just depends on, like I said, it depends on the other dog. So if you want to go in there and just play with your own dog, you can always go in a different corner away from where people are playing, and just be aware of other dogs. And be aware of your dog, and that goes for advocating for your dog. So if your dog's uncomfortable, just take him out, either out of the dog park or just out of the way, a couple feet away from the other dogs.
And you said when we were talking earlier that you should always have a leash too, right?
Yep, you want to bring a leash. You never know. You want to bring a leash everywhere you go. Most likely outside of the dog park, you need the dog leashed anyway. So, inside the dog park, if you are leaving or if you just need to get away and your dog is very distracted, you can just put the leash on and just walk away. So just to have that extra control. You never know when you need it, so always good to have it.
What should dog owners keep an eye out for when they're inside the dog park?
Just keeping an eye out for your own dog, as well as the dogs around you. Just making sure that the excitement level doesn't get too high. A lot of times, like I said, the dogs will be so excited and so pumped, and it'll just continue to escalate, and then a fight can break out. So if you notice that and recognize the body language, you can stop before the fight starts. So if they're getting rough, just call them off and let them relax a little bit, and then once they're a little bit more calm, you can let them play again.
Is there anything we should know? Are there any red flags that maybe you get to the dog park and you're looking through the fence and you see something that says do not come into this dog park at all?
Yeah, I mean, just you can notice the level of excitement for the dogs. I mean, if they're really aroused, big and small dogs can be, a lot of times they have two separate parks, but you don't want to take a puppy or like a really small dog into a giant, if there's a lot of giant dogs, because they can just get hurt easily, and not necessarily on purpose, but they're small.
Accidents happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any benefit to maybe researching the dog park you're going to before you go?
Absolutely. Some dog parks require membership. Might require vaccination records
Oh,
or
okay.
being a part of the town. I know some towns you have to be a resident in the town.
Okay.
So it's always good to look up anywhere before you bring your dog.
And some too, I've heard that some breeds aren't even allowed inside certain
Yeah,
dog
some
parks.
dog parks have breed restrictions, so you want to make sure that your dog's allowed there before making the trip there.
Is there anything else that we should keep in mind before we take a trip to the dog park?
Just keep in mind that not every dog, if you're going to a big one that's not regulated, not every dog may have its vaccines.
Okay.
So just being aware of that. Also being aware if people bring kids into the dog park or even your own kids. Usually I say, if the kids are well behaved and can, stand or sit next to you, then that's fine. But you don't want your kid going to a dog park and running around because not every dog likes kids or has seen kids before.
Right.
So you don't, it's just for the safety of both the kids and the dogs.
All right, Elena Miller, thank you so much for the information today.
Thanks for having me.